very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to welcome you to the 50th episode of the webinar series titled Why Corporate Sector. This webinar marks the 77th BSL webinar for the year 2025-2026. This series is proudly organized by the Webinars and Legal Symposium Committee of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. At the outset, I wish to extend our sincere gratitude to the chairman of the Webinars and Legal Symposium Committee and the president of Bar Association of Sri Lanka, Mr. Raju Amar Surya, attorney at law, the co-chairman, Mr. Chausura A. Galhena, secretary of BSL, and Mr. Pasinda Silva, treasurer of BSL, as well as the conveners, co-conveners, and members of the committee for their time. We thank the executive committee of BSL for their care with us today, Mr. Tishan Tishan Subasinghe, attorney at law. Mr. Subasinghe is a distinguished professional whose career spans law, finance, auditing, and corporate governance. He is a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka and an attorney at law with life membership from the BSL. He also holds an MBA in finance from the University of Colombo, where he was awarded the gold medal and is a certified information system auditor, USA. Currently, Mr. Subasinghe serves as the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka and holds key positions in regional and global accounting bodies, including SAFA, CAPA. His corporate leadership includes serving as managing director of Moore Consulting Private Limited, partner of Moore IR, and board membership Amara Bank PLC, some International PLC, and Caprico Holdings PLC. His professional journey has been enriched by international exposure with the PwC in New York, Philadelphia, and Botswana, and a partner. He has also contributed nationally, serving on the Presidential Commission on Simplification and Regulation and the Central Bank's Committee for Revival of Failed Finance Companies. It is a privilege finance, governance, and education. Please join me in warmly welcome Mr. T. Subasinghe, a true inspiration in both legal and corporate sector. Without further ado, I would now like to invite Mr. Shahara, who will be the interviewer for today's session. Over to you, Mr. Shahara.
Thank you so much, Gayatri, and you once again the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, on behalf of its membership, would like to welcome Mr. Tishan Subasinghe, attorney at law, for this session, Why Corporate Sector. And once again, for everyone who has joined in live, and we would also like to welcome everyone who has joined in on YouTube. And we would like to invite all of you to subscribe the official Bar Association of Sri Lanka YouTube channel for more similar videos and videos which discuss different aspects of law. And once again, why corporate sector is a new webinar series by the Bar Association of Sri Lanka with the intention of showing young lawyers as well as law students the importance of paying attention to the growing corporate sector in Sri Lanka. It also wishes to discuss the opportunities available so that young lawyers get a glimpse of the corporate sector and see that as a possible career path in their future. So, with that intention in mind, we are happy that we have covered more than a dozen of discussions under the series Why Corporate Sector. And today, we have yet another pioneering lawyer in the corporate sector, Mr. Tishan Subasinghe. And of course, your profile and your achievements were read out earlier by the compeer. And I would like to ask you first and foremost, um, can you just describe your professional journey? What made you join the corporate sector and not practice law in courts?
Thank you very much, Shahar, for that question. And before I answer that question, let me take this opportunity to thank the president of Bar Association of Sri Lanka, Rajiv. He was the one who really spoke to me first and asked whether I like to do a session like this, and also the organizers of this particular seminar series, including you. Um, yeah. Now, in answering your question, Shahara, I kind of entered to the legal profession uh, quite late. In the sense, I first became a chartered accountant. Then I wanted to become a lawyer also due to certain reasons. I'll explain why. What were the reasons for me to consider law also as a career, and that's how it happened. So I'm originally from Kurunagala. In fact, my father really wanted me to become a chartered accountant. And the very first day I attended my lectures, he passed away. So I took the challenge. And along with that, later I wanted to do the LLB degree also, RI, but I could not manage it with my audit training, which happened to be over 4 years. Then I completed my CA career, and I had an overseas career soon after that. I was working with PricewaterhouseCoopers Southern African practice, particularly Botswana, and I also worked in Cape Town for some time. Then I went to USA. So while working in the USA, in fact, what happened, this US corporate culture, and also I used to follow this John Grisham's novels. Those are legal thrillers. I really got attracted to the profession again. So any young lawyer, I can recommend these John Grisham legal thrillers, because one can learn a lot. Then upon returning to country, I later on started pursuing my I entered the law college and completed the exams, and then I combined both my accounting and legal expertise together, and it has given me greater strength actually. So the one beauty of becoming a lawyer is a lawyer can, with the curriculum, with the training, the lawyer can get a holistic view about the society, how the society works, and also it gives kind of confidence to address any situation. The law, you know how to safeguard yourself. Now, if I speak about my board career, I happen to be a board member of several companies. uh, this really helps, the legal knowledge I captured, that is to safeguard myself and to do the right thing. So in that context, it's adding a lot of value. And um, yeah, that's all about my career in short. In summary, I'm not going in detail to other areas. Yeah, and as we continue with our conversation, Shahara, I will shed more light on what I do at the moment as a lawyer, how it's helping the corporate sector, etc., etc.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Subasinghe. And now, I think as I mentioned before, the corporate law field is a vastly developing area of law. And as new companies come up in Sri Lanka, as new laws and regulations dealing with companies come up in Sri Lanka, the necessity for lawyers in the corporate sector um, would also increase. One would assume, and also the requirements from a lawyer, as well as their capacity has also increased, in the sense their job has become more demanding. They are expected to do not only law but also taxation, um, a bit of business management. Now they need to know AI. They need to know have an idea about technology, etc., etc. And in this context, do you see that there are more opportunities for lawyers in the corporate sector, and there would be more opportunities for lawyers in the corporate sector in the future?
Certainly, right? There are more opportunities, but in certain aspects, it's required to either upskill or reskill certain things, to really harness these opportunities, right? Now, let me first tell you what I do. I'm not a practicing lawyer, but I'm mainly into legal due diligence. Now, that also I told you first, I'm combining both my accounting, auditing, tax knowledge with my legal knowledge. So it helps me to really produce good reports, right? So both financial due diligence, tax due diligence, legal due diligence. I mean, if you take legal due diligence, it's, I mean, really expensive for a person to get a legal due diligence done. So that's a good market. I do also have my company secretarial practice, and there are my other lawyers also working in the company. So we basically run it, and it's a good practice. Then my other niche is I'm into forensic investigations, forensic accounting. We call it forensic accounting, forensic auditing. What do you mean by that? I mean, there could be junior lawyers and students also here, or maybe listening to this conversation. So whenever frauds happen within corporates, then the company has to follow a process. Then what happens when it been referred to law enforcement agencies? They require independent reports from independent professionals. Generally, this piece of work that is to to carry out the investigation as to what happened and to account for it, and to quantify it, and to then produce a report. This report would finally end up in the courts as expert witness evidence. So in that context, now what I do basically, I combine my accounting auditing knowledge with my legal knowledge, right? So I study the scenario, what had happened in the particular corporate. Then I map these scenarios to probable offenses as per the penal code. It could be criminal breach of trust, it could be cheating, misappropriation of assets, falsification of documents, whatever. Then only as a forensic auditor, we articulated the scope of work. Generally, what happens, that part's not been really done by a typical forensic auditor or accountant. Right? Since I do have this knowledge on the offenses as per the penal code, that's the value add, and that had really created a niche market, because when our report goes to the law enforcement agency, it really helps them, because we have exactly, now say if it is criminal breach of trust, you need to have first entrustment as ingredient, then the breach of that trust. So these ingredients reflect in our reports, right? So then we can produce convincing reports in that context. So likewise, there are many opportunities. Now, to answer your questions, in the corporate sector, I have identified basically 5 areas. One is in-house counsel and corporate legal management and consulting. So I have discussed about the consulting part, mapping to what I do, right? There are many now. Several months back, I handled a piece of work. I went in as again expert as an expert, or I mixed up my information system audit skills with my legal knowledge and produced a report in terms of accessing a system to view certain information by a particular person, and then where there was this litigation between the corporate and that particular person. So it's kind of a niche area that we have tapped, right? So that's what I say. That's why I say there are many opportunities, but then as a young lawyer, one has to find the niche and certain specializations. Then even sky would not be the limit, right? Then number two, in terms of compliance, risk and governance, especially in the banking, finance company. I would generalize it as financial services industry, and in the consulting space, many opportunities. Right? Because I can see. I mean, we all can see there are new pieces of legislation coming into place. Now, if you take this number 6, 2006 Financial Transactions Reporting Act, there are certain obligations vested upon the accountants as well as lawyers. And if you take Prevention of Money Laundering Act, there are certain compliance requirements for companies, and compliance work to be carried out. This work to carry out this work, there are got to be competent lawyers, and this is in the context of compliance, AML compliance, AML CFT compliance, and it had given domain expertise. Then I'm also a ex officio member of the Securities Exchange Commission, and I can see there'll be many opportunities in the security law also, right, if one gets the specialization. So likewise, there are many opportunities if one does not want to go to courts, right, and to become a practicing lawyer. Then third one, we all know academia, policy research, and training type of work. There are many opportunities, and one can seize this locally as well as internationally. But I think these three areas we have been discussed previously. I was informed that there had been several sessions on corporate law, but I'm going to focus more on some other two areas. One is number 4, LPO, legal process outsourcing, right? Now, legal process outsourcing could be within the border, within the country, or cross-border, offshoring. And I'm going to discuss about offshoring,
That's
cross-border.
going to be the next question. So
Yes, right.
yeah.
Then I will then go into detail when you ask me the question there. Then legal tech, AI, knowledge management. That is the technology part of it. Right? And there are many opportunities there as well, like to work as legal, to provide services to legal tech startups, to provide tech support to legal law firms. Then there are work with IT companies. Then to provide services to AI platforms like OpenAI, and there are similar other companies. So the roles would be to work as legal product manager, legal technologist, knowledge manager, legal consultant, content specialist, then AI trainers, right? Likewise, there are many opportunities. Then also, a lawyer can contribute in designing legal software, right? Or now, if a lawyer is competent in technology, software development, if a young lawyer can build up both expertise together, such as I build up mine, blending accounting and law, right? The future would be combining with technology. There would be many opportunities, and also can become entrepreneurs, right? Going beyond working for someone else or going beyond practicing, one can become entrepreneurs using these skills, unique set of skills. It's up to the person. Then there would be opportunities to train AI models, manage knowledge databases, build automated templates. You can see when you go to internet, when once a person contributes, now you can download any kind of template, right? Then these are other opportunities. Then can contribute in improving workflows within corporates. So those who look for global careers, I seriously advise, especially young lawyers, to learn the required technology. Even at an early stage, if the technology can be learned, the applicable technology, and be blended with the legal knowledge, it would create a totally different niche market for the person, and the demand for the person would be not merely local, would be international. Yeah, right?
Certainly, and I think in today's day and age, a lot of young lawyers prefer not only to work for local companies who, most of them try to aim high to work for multinational corporations and even to migrate and work abroad. So that could also be
Yes.
in their mind. So
Yeah, I'm interrupting you. Yes, I fully agree with you. Now, I have been to India many times. I have had conversations with especially Indian chartered accountants. Last time when I visited India, I on a panel discussion, I was requested to speak about this AML laws prevail in our country. Then where I met a retired Supreme Court judge also. So he's kind of a scholar. We have been having discussions, and there I noted, not only Indian lawyers. Right now, I don't know the number of the lawyers in India, but if you take chartered accountants, I'm informed there are 530,000 plus chartered accountants in India, right? 530,000. So it's huge, but they say it's still not enough, right? With the growth. Whereas in Sri Lanka, we have around 8,000. Okay, you compare the numbers, but then compared to population, uh, it's fine. There are even students, there are even students. Uh, they provide various kind of services to offshore companies, like creating blogs and running blogs for international law firms, etc. And they make their money while studying. Only thing, their language skills are good. Language, when I say language skills, the English language skills. Therefore, they can easily converse, write reports, write blogs, and they do these kind of small work. And it had attracted a lot of work to India. And I know many, because recently I followed, in fact, a course on mergers and acquisitions and LPO conducted by a Indian company. It was run by Indian lawyers, and I got to know many information about how things work, especially in the LPO space, and with respect to students and legal education. And they are quite active in this LPO space. So as we go on, we'll discuss.
sure, Mr. Subasing. And now you mentioned over and over again about LP or legal process outsourcing. And
Yes.
I think it's something new for a lot of law students as well as young lawyers because I mean, in law college and right after law college, we learn about criminal law, we learn about legal practice, we learn about companies, and we learn about criminal procedure and civil procedure. But I don't think anyone has come across this phrase, legal process outsourcing. Could you explain to us? What is legal process outsourcing and why is it important?
Yeah, I'll explain happily, because I see, as a nation, we need to develop this space in our country. So legal process outsourcing is where law firms, corporate legal departments, or other organizations delegate legal tasks and processes to external service providers. So this outsourcing, legal process outsourcing work happen locally. Like you would have noted, our bigger law firms outsourcing certain piece of work for independent lawyers. So here I'm not referring that. I'm referring cross border. Legal process outsourcing work. In fact, Shahara, uh, back in year 2012, I think it was January or February, there was this this seminar. So it was a physical seminar in Sri Lanka on LPO, legal process outsourcing, organized by International Association of Young Lawyers. And they had given, I mean, it had really opened up this particular area, but then compared to India, it did not have traction in our country. All right. So through legal process outsourcing work, in fact, Shahara, I have also established a company. Still, I could not start my work, I got invitations from Australian some law firms to come and have discussions with respect to outsourcing work from Australia to Sri Lanka. So after completing my tenure as the president of CA Sri Lanka, I may think of this. So under LPO, what type of work that's been outsourced? Let me just take you through. Yeah? It would be legal research, contract management, then most importantly, patent and patent applications, processing patent applications, and providing patent legal support. Right? Then e-discovery and review, compliance support, then various licensing support, preparation of legal due diligence reports based on facts made available to the contractor, then compliance support, litigation support, and intellectual property service support, then company secretarial and other admin type of legal work. So, there's a huge scope. And at the moment, if you take Asia and Pacific, India and Philippines, they have really captured this market, and they are in the process of capturing this market, and it is expected towards 2030, this LPO market would cross $100 billion, right? $100 billion. And with the port city also coming in, I mean, in Sri Lanka also, we have companies who are doing this piece of work at a larger scale. I'm informed one company, more than 250 lawyers are working. This, I think the first to come, I may be wrong, but as far as I'm informed and based on my facts, there's a company called Ironwood Legal Solutions, the first BOI company, perhaps approved to provide LPO services. There, likewise, there are 4-5 other companies who are providing this service. And with the port city coming in, the thing is, Indian companies could come and Indian professionals could come and set up operations in the port city, providing LPO type of work from port city to elsewhere in the world. All right. So because they have the numbers and port city have got the infrastructure. So in that context, this is the right time. I mean, I feel sometimes we are late. We need to go to this LPO world market and capture our market share, because we have the people, there are foreign LLBs offered in Sri Lanka. So those students, those graduates who are following foreign LLBs, also our local LLBs, most of the students study in English language. So the language skill would not be a problem for them, right? Language skills would not be a problem. Therefore, we need to make use of this space. And for that, we need to do capacity building. So we can discuss this going forward. Then why this legal work being outsourced, legal processes being outsourced? There are two models. Some companies, they merely outsource the person to a particular corporate. So it's up to that particular foreign corporate to allocate work, delegate work, and to get the job done. So it's merely hiring the person. That's not really a legal process outsourcing. Even it is happening in the business process outsourcing in the accounting context also. Right? The other part is true process outsourcing. That is where this expertise based payments one can expect. So then why corporates or law firms outsource works? Number one reason, cost efficiency. Whenever, I mean, there's a correlation. Whenever there's a recession in the USA or Europe, then to have cost efficiency, they start outsourcing work. Right? Then increasing legal complexity, and the benefits, the foreign resources could be really expensive. While working in the USA, I know their salary structures may, for 1/10 or even below that of the cost, they can find good expertise in Asia Pacific region. Then workload scalability. Outsourcing work would help corporates and firms to cater to the temporary fluctuations. Time fluctuations over a period of time. Sometimes you get bombarded with a lot of work. Sometimes there's a lull period. So outsourcing would help a firm or a corporate to really streamline their work. Then technology efficiency with the advancement of information and related technology and communication related technology. Now outsourcing of work can be easily done, right? So this is the background why a particular entity would outsource work. Then I mentioned about India and Philippines, basically exploiting this space from the Asia Pacific region. We need to become a player. I would be really happy one day if I see our law college students start providing in individual level. I told you there are several companies in Sri Lanka doing it, but then we need to now bring it down to the lower level, up to the students. Even low students will be able to handle certain type of work. In India, they do it. You go to this website and see there's this particular institution who provide training called LOSICO. I followed my M&A course there because I wanted to capture expertise on certain areas. And they teach Indian students, they offer preparatory courses for US to become lawyers in the USA. If one wants to become a lawyer in California, so yeah, they make Indian students, their students, prepare for California bar exams, right? And if it is New York, they prepare, and then there are students who are doing that. Then by the time they complete their degrees in India with the knowledge captured with respect to US legal systems, etc., they complete the bar exams in the US, and then initially they may start providing outsourced services to US firms or corporates, and later on they may go and settle down in the USA. So I think we also need to look at in that context how we also can bring that to Sri Lanka, right? And it's happening in now outsourcing other emerging country when it comes to accounting is Nepal, right? This Nepal is doing that, then obviously we also can do it, and it's emerging, and their growth rate is very high, right? In the accounting space, I have no idea about the legal outsourcing work handled in Nepal, but I know along with accounting that's how it happened in Sri Lanka also. First, IT accounting BPO work companies came and incorporated those companies in Sri Lanka, then LPO services, and that's how it started to happen even in Sri Lanka. Therefore, I'm sure that going forward, even Bar Association would focus more. I would like to request to focus more on building capacity in providing LPO services to other parts of the world, right? Then the other market would be North America. There's a good market that would be a target market. Then Europe, it's emerging. We have prospects, but then language barriers would come in Europe. In all the countries, they do not speak English. So the Dutch, French, if one can get specialized, say it's a very good thing. If one can get specialized in French, then obviously it will give a domain expertise for that particular person, right? Then start providing services to, and there won't be much competition also, so you are blending your legal knowledge with your language skills. If one can learn Dutch, then can provide services in that language where people speak and work in Dutch language. So these are some of the things that the young lawyers can really think of in terms of articulating their vision in their careers. From now, for instance, at CH Sri Lanka, we are going to start a language school, and we are going to come up with 3 courses initially. That is to teach. It will happen within next 2-3 months to teach business English, then business French, and business Mandarin. Because then we know that it will open up the job market in Europe as well by combining technical skills with the language skills. Then if I just shed light about the income one can generate by providing LPO services, it starts from starting rate $10 per hour for basic type of work, right? And between $10 to $30. So I would recommend one to even charge below $10 for first couple of assignments. And there are certain websites. This freelancer.com is the place where most of the accountants find BPO type of work. But it will not come easily. You had to bid for many jobs. Then one day, one lucky day, one would get the first assignment, right? So my request, do the first assignment even for free, because testimonials are really important when it comes to providing these type of services. Then in that outsource space, the person can develop kind of a brand image with the testimonials. Then slowly over a period of time, this rate can be increased from $10 to at entry level $10 to $30. But then when it comes to mid-level, from $30 to $100 per hour, it depends on the expertise, right? At once, one will not be able to go and charge $50-$60. Start by charging $10 per hour, even below, or first couple of assignments free of charge, right? Build up your professional brand image and then go for it. And what happens now when it comes to accounting, I mean, it's the same model, whether it's an accountant or a lawyer, it's the same model. I know one lady who happened to be from Anuradhapura. She has done the same thing. She has started with but she's an accountant. She has started with one piece of work, one small assignment on one of these outsourcing sites. So there are assignments that has been listed on these sites. Even lawyers can find such sites. And the one that I am referring is freelancer.com. Then from there, then she has slowly built up, and now I think she's I think around 40 to 50 people are working for her. She has become an entrepreneur, and she is providing services to Australia. And she told me now she's going to start providing services to USA also. Australia is easy because the time gap is around 4 hours, right? USA it's over 8 hours, so it's very difficult to retain employees because of the time difference. But then can make plans to address those challenges also. So these are, some insights that I like to give for a junior lawyer to completely look at a different aspect and to build up as a LPO service provider. And this can be done while even a practitioner, certain assignments at the initial stage. Say one lawyer, like junior lawyer, likes to become a practitioner, but at the initial stage, income would be a problem, But as a side income, can start providing these LPO services. Now we may be having 3-4 big companies providing LPO services. My point is, as a nation, we need to have boutique type of law firms also emerging in providing LPO services to the world, which should attract foreign exchange to the country. And we should have individuals in their individual capacity going after LPO type of work in the world, and seizing those opportunities and bringing foreign exchange to the country, as a profession. So it's not about the money, but it's about making our contribution to the nation understanding priorities. We need foreign exchange from 2028. We need to now start servicing our loans also. So here we have 20,000 plus lawyers, and I think every year maybe 600, 700 lawyers are coming out. And here there's a good market available across the world, and the value of the market would be over $100 billion. We are heading there, and we need to tap this market. So in concluding my insights on the LPO services, if one wants to start, say, a company to provide the LPO services.
Actually, I have a question in that. So, if a young lawyer wants
Yeah.
to, go and work freelance, what should he do? Are there any companies in Sri Lanka where he can approach, or should he just log online and search for opportunities?
Now there are certain freelancer websites. If one can get registered on these websites, then there are assignments listed. Your corporate may say, I need a freelancer, say, to get patent applications filled up, right? Then but then slowly the profile needs to be built up. That's why I say initially don't quote higher fees, quote lower fees, right? And get testimonials. I mean, if you go to website, you'll be able to find enough opportunities like this. Just freely Google. There are many opportunities. But then also, how I'm bringing some examples from the accounting also. It will help to find work. Now, say in our accountants case, what happens? Our accountants go abroad and start working. So they build up their contacts, right? And through those contacts, they start referring work to their friends. They may establish a company. Okay, the foreign fellow would be the marketing guy, and certain shares should have been allocated to the person. Then from Sri Lanka, another 2-3 guys get together and run the operations. So that person goes to various corporates and discuss and get the work for the Sri Lankan team. That's how it happens, right? So my advice is, okay, now if one likes to get into this LPO space, first step would be define your LPO business model. What type of service, right? Whether it could be contractor. Now there are AI tools to draft contracts, then still somebody has to review it, no? Right? Then whether it's patent applications filling, right, or whether it's legal support or legal research. I understand the business model and the niche, right? The type, which includes the type of service. Then register the business and set up legal compliance. It's good to register a company rather than going individual when it gives some credibility. Then build your team, technology and processes. Then secure cloud storage, VPN access, document management systems, contract review software, encrypted email, if required AI tools, but not at once. These things can come slowly. Initially, it's just you take one job at a time and doing it without any of these specialized tools. I'm just telling, if one wants to leverage on this, the way to approach it, right? Then there must be client acquisition, marketing, and scaling. So, marketing is not allowed as per our ethics, but when it comes to LPO services, we have to position our LPO company. There got to be a website, service brochures, testimonials, most importantly, and the easiest thing is LinkedIn outreach. Right? I get a lot of work because through LinkedIn. LinkedIn, there you can have the testimonials. Other than that, you can list what we do, our specialization, etc. This in the LPO space. I know that sometimes there are ethics cases being filed. by putting all unwanted things also on social media, etc. I'm not referring to that. This is, you can have your LinkedIn page, but then you can build up your profile, right? Then slowly, work will start to flow. I've been approached, in fact, after going through my LinkedIn profile. Then other most important thing is to attend legal conferences. We have to spend some money, but then in return to the money, it's not the knowledge that we are going to capture at the conference. More than that, now when you go to internet or chat GPT, you can capture any knowledge. It's the network that we are going to have access. It's the network. When you go there, exchanging your business cards. I 1 or 2 years back, when I was speaking to a lawyer, prominent senior lawyer, he was telling me that's how he get work. Wherever he finds a legal conference in the world, he invests money to go there. It's an investment, and he go do the talking, exchange business cards, and then he get work from overseas, right? So then client acquisition and the game plan. So the areas of concerns would be the confidentiality. Now, when we provide LPO services, even it's a concern even for the foreign firms also, because one has to maintain confidentiality. Breach of confidentiality may attract liabilities. Then data security. Then liability of the service provider. If you are providing service, there could be certain sensitive cases, say IP related, intellectual property related case. If the information gets leaked, it would attract bad publicity and maybe not good for the other party, the clients there, foreign client. Then violation of attorney-client privilege. These are some of the concerns. Yeah, I mean, it's a small insight to this LPO work. Perhaps, Shahar, you can take this message to the Bar Association, to the organizations. It's time for us to have a national level LPO symposium, legal process outsourcing symposium, where we can invite, even in Sri Lanka, we have experts who are providing this service and they can share their knowledge. It's happening in the accounting profession. Those who have been providing accounting outsource work, now they would have made their money, and now they are looking at from the national perspective. They come and share their experience with the young ones, right? And now we can see at individual level, young accountants start providing outsourced services to various parts of the world. And then we are very happy because it's bringing foreign currency to our country. But then we have focused that area to build capacity. There's a separate committee. Likewise, perhaps if you all can, young lawyers, get together and organize a legal symposium, kind of LPO symposium kind of things. It would really add value mainly to the young lawyers and also students, because at an early stage, even students can get themselves ready, prepared for this particular challenge.
Certainly, Mr. Subasinghe, and I think we can move on to the next question, which is I think everyone these days, they are extremely cautious, and they are all talking about artificial intelligence.
Yes.
And we see even in the United States, so much of money has been invested in artificial intelligence, and so many predictions are made that artificial intelligence would actually affect every profession in the world. So my question to you is now, since you spoke about LPOs and you spoke about lawyers in the corporate sector, what is your take about artificial intelligence? We know that artificial intelligence is a very helpful tool for lawyers because it helps lawyers in drafting letters, drafting documents, drafting agreements, etc., etc. But beyond that, would artificial intelligence be a threat to lawyers or an aid?
Yeah. Very good question. In fact, many professions, they are worried whether, first, particularly students, they ask this question when we attend seminars and all, whether the profession, it could be legal or accounting or medicine, whether these professions would get replaced. I'll share my perspective with facts and reasons. Right? The way that I see it, artificial intelligence would be a enabler rather than a destroyer of profession, right? But then there must be certain things to happen. Let me just explain in a structured manner. I believe AI, the impact of AI on the legal profession, there could be threefold. One is automation of routine legal work. Then number two, enhancing legal analysis. It could help. Then transforming client services. So let's go through one by one. Automation of routine legal work. So how it happens? Now take document review and e-discovery, right? Document reviews and e-discovery. AI can actually scan millions of emails and files in litigation within hours. There are, in certain cases, lawyers have to review thousands and thousands of pages, and in that with that magnitude of information, the real information could go lost. AI would be a good enabler to address that particular risk. It doesn't mean that AI can simply do it without human intervention. Somebody has to again go through, analyze, and get convinced, most importantly, about the outcome given by the AI tool. Then contract analysis, that is automatically detects risky clauses, missing terms, and compliance issues. AI tools can be used for this. Then to carry out due diligence, when we carry out legal due diligence, AI tools can be used to, most importantly, to screen the prospective client, the client. Then compliance monitoring. So AI tools can be used to track regulatory changes and would use to flag non-compliances. Then let's look at the second aspect, enhanced legal research and decision making. So where does it help? It will help to search case laws, right? Statutes and regulations in seconds, right? And recently in the USA, there was an instance where something went wrong. Somebody has simply, reproduced uh, a write-up from a AI tool, and it went to court, and the particular lawyers got ridiculed, right? And that's the downside. That's why I said human intervention is required. Then summarize judgments and legal opinions. Then identify relevant precedents. Then analyze litigation patterns. Then predict possible case outcomes. So these tools can be used, but then one should learn. You can't simply do it with ChatGPT. There are other specialized tools, and we need to subscribe. But one should learn about these tools to do all these things. Then finally, one can be a data-driven litigation strategist if these tools can be used, right? And then recently, Shahara, I actually bought a particular document on Hotmart. There's this space called Hotmart, a guide to 500 ChatGPT prompts for legal professionals. To get the real output from an AI tool, it's all about prompt engineering. We should be able to give the right prompt, and it's an art, right? So this actually, it has got 12 modules, and out of interest, I just bought it, and it's not that expensive also. So it covers giving prompts, covering legal research, document templates to get the right template, then jurisprudence suggestions, contract drafting, defense and appeals, uh, then for students, uh, producing summaries covering various subject areas, then legal communication and marketing, yeah, I mean, these type of, there are many areas. I just only highlighted a few. Then I mentioned three areas where there could be a impact in the context of the legal profession due to AI. Now the third one, changing client services and legal business models, right, due to AI and other related technology. So AI is transforming how legal services are delivered and priced. Delivered and priced. Um, at the outset, say if one is using technology, the cost of providing that service would be lower to the professional who would not use technology, say to get certain things done. A typical professional, by carrying out work manually, may invest 6 hours. For using technology, that time, if we can reduce to 1 hour, then in terms of pricing, there's a huge difference. And those days, I also serve on certain boards. Whatever the lawyers stated, these corporate used to pay, but now that era is changing, because I can see corporates also now getting competitive proposals. It's happening already. I mean, happened long time back in the auditing profession also. So we need to be competitive in terms of cost. Cost per hour, cost the man hours, etc. Then, but then still, the brand image of a practitioner would also play a major role that cannot be replaced. Then, in this context, in providing client services, these AI chatbots, international firms use these AI chatbots. Also, there are products that can be used by solo practitioners and service providers, not only practitioners, other service providers also, as we discussed. Then online legal platforms through which various kinds of templates can be purchased. With AI and related technology, these platforms would be operating. Then virtual legal assistants, which would help to manage appointments, billing and documentations. Then providing 24/7 client support. So AI can be used to answer routine questions, right? So in this space, the risks would be the accuracy issue. AI may produce incorrect legal citations. Then confidentiality risks, biases. AI may reflect biases in training the data. Then finally, the professional responsibility would be with a human being, not with AI. Then, there's a risk of job displacement, particularly for paralegals, and also unless the junior lawyers really capture this skill, how to use AI and technology, they will also be at a risk. So my perspective, to summarize, AI is a tool and not a replacement for professional judgment, Shahan, right? Then with AI, lawyers can become legal strategists, risk advisors, compliance specialists, legal technologists, and we should know how to leverage on AI and related technology. So that we need to capture that skill. So in that context, I believe even when it comes to law college curriculum, perhaps there's room to bringing these things. We need to now start teaching. I think I have heard that now there are assignments being given, but then, maybe as electives, uh, how to formulate your or structure your LPO services, what to do, etc. That kind of awareness need to be given at an early stage. That,
Certainly.
then teaching various kinds of technologies and AI related tools which would be helpful for lawyers. Then they will be internationally competitive lawyers which would have the capacity to bringing foreign exchange to the nation. Right? We need to do that capacity building from an early stage. Right? Then lawyers who use AI. Finally, the lawyer, you asked this question of whether AI would replace professions. No. Lawyers who use AI will replace lawyers who don't use AI. That's what would happen, right? And yeah, in conclusion, that's my actually final remark in with respect to AI.
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Subasinghe. And I think we are, we have come to the conclusion of our time limit for
Yes,
our discussion. I would like to end this
yeah,
session by inviting you to give your final message for young lawyers and also law students and non-lawyers who are watching this about
yeah,
the legal profession and how they need to look beyond the box, look,
yes,
outside the box, think outside the box, and just don't limit the legal profession to simply, I mean, of course, court practice is extremely important. That is the very the crux of the legal profession. But as lawyers, we need to be open-minded, and we need to look beyond our traditional limitations and look into things like legal process outsourcing and also using AI for the betterment of the legal profession. Do you have any final message for them before we
yeah.
conclude?
Within a minute or two, I'll summarize everything. Chair, I think beyond the profession, we have a duty to our country, to our nation. We know that we had a tough time during 2022-23 period. The country became bankrupt. So in that context, now we are on the verge of getting out of it, recovery. But then the real challenges would come from 2028 when we have to service all these loans. Start repaying. And in that context, as the profession, especially the legal students and young lawyers, will have a huge responsibility in supporting the country at this particular juncture. So here we have opportunity to contribute to the nation, to bringing foreign exchange. So my request is upskill and reskill and grab all these opportunities, and let's one fine day be happy as to capturing our own share of LPO space in the world, and let's give a good run to our competitors also in that context, because our lawyers are really smart, especially the young ones. When I speak to them, they are knowledgeable. And the other thing is they can speak, most of them, especially who had followed these foreign degree programs plus our degree programs also. But why I say foreign degree programs, those are taught in English from the beginning, and there's a huge pool. I can see many institutions have now started to offer these foreign LLB degree programs, and we have good English speaking graduates, LLB graduates, and attorney at law, especially younger ones. So they can leverage on this, and it's just a matter of building their capacity. And I'm sure law college plus the bar association together can really look at these areas and start building capacity amongst the legal professionals, especially focusing the younger ones. We can do it.
Certainly.
And
And
I hope that you take this message, and this year we will able to see LPO legal symposium or something. I will give my maximum support for that.
certainly, we are also. I hope that that objective would be something the Bar Association can look into. And certainly, we will see how we can collaborate in making that a reality. So, with that, I think we are well beyond our time limit, and we would like to thank all the participants who joined us through Zoom and everyone who is watching on YouTube Live, and also everyone who will be watching this in the future. Once again, we kindly request you to subscribe to the official YouTube channel of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka for more discussions of this nature. And once again, thank you, and we wish you a very good evening.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Thanks, Shad.
Thank you, Mr. Shahara. This brings us to the end of the episode 15 of the webinar series, Why Corporate Sector. I extend my heartfelt thank to our esteemed guest, Mr. Tishan Subasingha, and to Mr. Shahara Herat for the insightful and engaging discussion. I also wish to thank the BASL Webinars and Legal Symposium Committee for their dedication and hard work in organizing this valuable series, and the Executive Committee of a BASL for their continued support. Finally, a special thank you goes to our audience for joining us today across various platforms and for contributing to the interactive discussion. With that, we conclude today's session. Thank you once again, and I wish you all the pleasant evening.